What if I told you the penny in your kitchen junk drawer could be worth almost $1 million? That's right. 1 cent 92 copper-coated reasons to stop what you're doing and start digging through your coin jar. Sounds crazy? Maybe. But so did buying Bitcoin in 2010. And yet, here we are. This is not just any penny. This is the 1992 Lincoln penny with the D mint mark, and one rare variety of it has sold for $992,000 in a private sale. Now, here's the real kicker. Most people have no idea what makes this tiny coin so valuable, and many unknowingly give them away every single day at gas stations, vending machines, or worse, throw them in tip jars. Today, we're going to change that. Stick with me for the next 10 minutes, and I'll show you how to spot this elusive coin, the story behind its value, and how you could cash in big if you find one. And if you think you've heard everything about rare coins, think again, because this one is different. But first, quick question: what's smaller than a quarter, older than some of your coworkers, and could pay off your mortgage? Exactly. Let's dive in. The year was 1992. Bill Clinton was elected president. Gas was $1 a gallon. And somewhere in Denver, at the U.S. Mint, something unusual happened. A small batch of Lincoln pennies was struck with what's known as a close AM reverse design, a feature that wasn't supposed to exist on pennies from that year. Now, for context, from 1959 to 1992, all regular pennies had the letters A and M in America on the reverse side spaced apart, the so-called wide AM. But due to a die mix-up in 1992, a few pennies were accidentally made with the close AM design, where the two letters touch or nearly touch, something that was only meant for proof coins. This microscopic detail? It's the $1 million difference. In 2009, one of these rare 1992 D-close AM pennies was authenticated and auctioned, and it rocked the coin collecting world. Now let me guess, you're squinting at a penny right now trying to see if the A and M are hugging. We'll get to how to identify it in a moment. But first, you might be wondering, why does such a tiny mistake make a coin this valuable? Simple. Rarity meets demand. Only a handful of these 1992 D-close AM pennies are confirmed to exist, and collectors will pay nearly anything to own one. Combine that with perfect condition, uncirculated, red, and glossy like it was just minted, and you have the recipe for a $992,000 payday. Let's pause for a moment. Imagine calling your boss and saying, "Hey, I won't be coming in today. I just made $1 million from a penny." Now that's the retirement plan no one talks about. All right, ready to test your pennies? Here's what you need to look for. Flip the 1992 D penny over and look at the word America, the A and M, almost touching or very close. That's your first green flag. Now, under magnification, preferably 10x or more, check the serif on the bottom of the letters. On a close AM, the spacing is nearly gone, and the base of the letters almost blend. Also, check the initials FG to the right of the Lincoln Memorial. On the close AM variety, the G is further from the building than usual. If that's what you see, don't run to the pawn shop just yet. Next step, grading. Your coin's value skyrockets if it's in mint state condition, ideally MS67 or higher. That means no scratches, discoloration, or heavy wear. Bright red shine helps a lot. And here's the cliffhanger. Only one 1992 D-close AM penny has been graded MS67 red. That's the one that sold for nearly $1 million. Could there be more sitting in old drawers across America? Absolutely. Could one of them be in your house right now? Keep watching. You're not just watching a video about a penny. You're stepping into a world where knowledge turns pocket change into generational wealth. Imagine finding one, holding it in your hand, and realizing your next vacation, your debt freedom, or even your new home is right there between your fingertips. But here's the urgency. Every day, more of these rare coins are lost, spent, or damaged beyond recognition. The longer you wait, the slimmer your chances of finding one in pristine condition. Go grab every 1992 penny you own. Flip them, inspect them, look for that D-mint mark. Then zoom in on the AM in America. If you think you've found something, don't clean it, don't spend it. Get it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. And if you're not sure what you have, drop a comment below. We're building a community of people who are hunting, learning, and winning together. Because in the end, this isn't just about pennies. It's about possibilities. And hey, if your spouse asks why you're crawling on the floor with a magnifying glass yelling, "Close AM," just tell them, you're working on the $1 million side hustle. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more coin secrets, and tap the bell so you never miss a rare find again. Because next week, we're revealing another penny that's even rarer, and yes, even more valuable. You won't believe what year it is. Stay tuned. What if I told you the penny sitting in your kitchen drawer could be worth nearly $1 million? Yes, a 1978 Lincoln penny. No mint mark. 1 cent on paper. But in today's collector market, it has sold for up to $978,000. Sounds like fiction? It's not. Every year, ordinary people discover that their loose change isn't just spare cash. It's a hidden treasure chest. Some find pennies that fund retirements. Others sell a single coin and pay off their homes. The clock is ticking. Every day you wait, your coin could vanish from value or multiply overnight. Now, here's the question. When was the last time you actually looked at your pennies? Because after today, you'll never look at them the same again. Let's dive in. 1978. The Lincoln penny was quietly produced by the U.S. Mint. Most were common. Billions of them. Nothing special, or so it seemed. But a few coins from that year were different. Rare errors. Off-metal strikes. Superior condition. No mint mark, indicating they were struck in Philadelphia. Somehow, these ordinary-looking coins slipped through quality control and were minted with near-perfect detail or with metal composition anomalies. Now here's where it gets interesting. A select group of these no-mint mark 1978 pennies made their way into circulation. That means someone, maybe even you, unknowingly spent or saved a penny that today could sell for nearly $1 million. Let that sink in. What would you do if you found a $978,000 coin in your old coffee jar? Sell it? Frame it? Buy a red Corvette and drive off into a Texas sunset? Or maybe you'd do what I'd do, double-check the rest of the jar. But before we go penny diving, let's uncover why some of these coins are worth more than an entire luxury home. What makes this coin worth up to $978,000? Three things: condition, rarity, and timing. First, condition. Collectors call it mint state. We're talking sharp edges, no scratches, no signs of wear. A coin that looks like it never left the mint. Second, rarity. Most 1978 Lincoln pennies are common, but a microscopic percentage have rare traits like off-center strikes, double dies, or wrong metal composition. These traits are invisible to most eyes but gold to trained collectors. Third, timing. Coin markets shift fast. A coin worth $1,000 10 years ago can skyrocket to $100,000 today. And with inflation and rising interest in collectibles, the demand for rare pennies has exploded. Let's put this in perspective. In a recent auction, a 1978 no-mint mark penny graded in near-perfect condition sold for $978,000. Imagine the seller. Someone like you. Maybe he found it in a drawer. Or maybe he inherited it from grandpa's cigar box. You never know where the $1 million penny will show up next. By the way, ever notice how your junk drawer suddenly looks more like a vault? Let's pause here for a second. When was the last time you checked your change before tossing it into a jar? If your answer is never, then congratulations, you're not alone. But you might also be tossing away a small fortune. So here's what you need to do. Right now, find your 1978 Lincoln pennies. Look for ones without a mint mark. That means no D, no S, just clean below the date. Inspect the coin's condition. If it looks untouched, no scratches, no dull color, it might be uncirculated. That's good news. Flip the coin. Check the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Is everything crisp? Are there any signs of doubling? Strange shapes? Slight misalignments? That's when you don't call your cousin who once watched a History Channel documentary on coins. You contact a certified coin appraiser or a top auction house, because this isn't small change anymore. It's legacy money. Here's a thought. What if you don't find the penny? Well, that's not the point. The point is you're waking up to possibility. You're no longer ignoring the treasure buried in your own home. And what if you do find it? Let me say this loud and clear. One penny can change everything. This video isn't about copper coins. It's about financial freedom. About never underestimating the power of what you already own. 1 penny. Nearly $1 million. Now, let me leave you with a cliffhanger. What if I told you there's another penny even rarer than the 1978 no-mint mark? One that sold for over $2 million? We'll reveal that in our next video, so make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and join thousands of others who've discovered the hidden fortune in their own pockets. Because your next big payday might be 1 penny away. Check out our next video, the $2 million penny you've never heard of. Subscribe for more hidden coin treasures. And remember, don't just spend your pennies. Examine them, cherish them, cash in. Your wealthy lifestyle could be closer than you think. What if I told you that a single penny sitting in your old change jar could be worth nearly $1 million? That's not clickbait. That's not a dream. That's the reality of the 1973 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. And right now, one of these elusive coins is shaking up the collector world with a market value of up to $973,000. Sounds crazy, right? But before you toss out that old jar of coins, listen closely. Because missing out on this opportunity could cost you more than just pocket change. It could cost you your shot at a life-changing fortune. Let's dive in. And trust me, you'll never look at a penny the same way again. Let's start with the basics. The 1973 Lincoln penny without a mint mark was produced in Philadelphia. Millions were struck. So what makes one worth nearly $1 million today? It's all about rarity, condition, and yes, a bit of mystery. Now, here's the plot twist. In 1973, the U.S. Mint was experimenting with alternative metals due to rising copper prices. Some test coins were accidentally released into circulation against official policy, and among them, a few ultra-rare copper alloy specimens with perfect strike, deep original red luster, and zero mint mark. Coin experts believe fewer than 10 of these ultra-grade 1973 no-mint mark pennies exist in high MS67 or higher condition. And when they show up at auctions, it's a frenzy. In 2024, One sold for a staggering $973,000. Let that sink in. A penny. 1 cent sold for more than a 4-bedroom house in the suburbs. Let me guess. You're suddenly feeling the urge to dig through that old drawer in the garage. Quick question. When's the last time you checked your sock drawer for a nearly $1 million asset? If your answer is never, well, today's your lucky day. Because here's where things get really interesting. To spot the $1 million penny, you need to know what to look for. Start with the mint mark. If there's no D or S under the date, that's step 1. It was minted in Philadelphia. Next, look at the coin's color. Original red copper with no fading or tarnish is rare. It should look as fresh as the day it left the mint in 1973. Then there's the grade. A professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC must verify it. Grades of MS66, MS67 or above are the golden ticket. And get this, there are still ungraded, unsearched rolls of pennies sitting in estate sales, flea markets, and basements across America. The next $1 million find might literally be hiding in a cup holder in your cart. That's why collectors and sellers are scrambling right now to hunt down what could be a once-in-a-lifetime payday. Every minute you wait, someone else is checking their change jar. But here's the kicker. There's one version of the 1973 penny even experts whisper about. A rumored misstrike. An anomaly with a small die crack through Lincoln's temple and doubling on the word liberty. Only one has ever surfaced, and if another appears, it could break every auction record in U.S. penny history. Yes, that includes the 1943 copper cent. Yes, that includes the 1955 double DIE.SO. Now you know. The 1973 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is more than just a coin. It's a symbol of hidden value. A reminder that wealth can be quietly sitting in the most unexpected places. If you know how to look. If you're someone in your 30s, 40s, 50s, or even 60s, this isn't just about a coin. This is about reclaiming your financial future. Selling one rare penny could eliminate your debt, fund your retirement, start that business you've been dreaming about for years, but you've got to act. Start digging through your old collections, go to local coin shops. Check every 1973 penny that crosses your path, and most importantly, get professional appraisals from trusted coin graders. The window of opportunity is open, but it won't stay open forever. The longer you wait, the higher the risk that your $1 million moment passes you by. And if you're thinking, is this really real? Just remember, someone already cashed in their 1973 penny for nearly $1 million. The next one could be yours. Subscribe now for more tips on spotting high-value coins hiding in plain sight. Turn your knowledge into income. Turn your pennies into power. Because sometimes, it only takes 1 cent to change your life forever. What if I told you there's a single penny out there, sitting in a kitchen drawer, tucked away in a dusty jar, or buried deep in your pocket change? That's worth up to $970,000. Yes, you heard that right. 1 cent minted in 1970. With a small D under the year. Now fetching nearly $1 million. Imagine what that kind of money could mean for you. No more living paycheck to paycheck. No more watching others live the life you've always wanted. One tiny coin could be your unexpected ticket to financial freedom. Sounds crazy? That's exactly what the man who found one said. Just days before cashing in for nearly $1 million or so before you toss out another old penny. Stop. You could be holding history, value, and a future of wealth all in one. But here's the twist. Not all 1970 pennies are valuable. In fact, only a specific type carries this astronomical worth. And by the time this video ends, you'll know exactly how to spot it. Ready to find out? Good. But be warned, once you see how close you've been to life-changing money, you might never look at coins the same again. Let's begin with a little background. The 1970 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it's just another 1-cent piece. It features the classic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. The reverse? The Lincoln Memorial, bold, symmetrical, and unmistakable. The Denver Mint stamped its mark with a small D just below the date. Over 2.9 billion of these pennies were minted in Denver alone. So why would one be worth nearly $1 million? The answer lies in rarity, error, and condition. First, rarity. The ultra-valuable 1970 penny is no ordinary strike. It's believed that a small batch was struck using a proof reverse die intended for collectors, not circulation. This mismatch created a hybrid coin, an accidental masterpiece. Second, errors. The key detail collectors obsess over is known as a small date variety, where the date appears subtly more compressed, with the top of the 7 nearly level with the 0. If you blink, you'll miss it. Now imagine holding such a coin, and not even knowing it. Third, condition. Coins graded as mint state or red, untouched by circulation, are exponentially more valuable. One pristine example sold for over $900,000 because it checked every box. Rarity, error, and flawless condition. Have you ever walked past a penny on the street and ignored it? Yeah, me too. We could have stepped over a fortune. That's why collectors, dealers, and auction houses across the country are in a frenzy, hunting for these overlooked treasures hiding in plain sight. You're probably wondering, how do I know if I have the $1 million version? Patience, my friend. We're getting there. But first, a short detour into real stories. In 2021, a retired school teacher in Kansas discovered one in a small coin folder he'd forgotten about. He originally thought it was worth $5. But a quick appraisal revealed something shocking. His coin was one of only a handful known to exist in mint condition. Result? It sold at auction for nearly $970. 000. That's not pocket change. That's life-changing. Still with me? Good. Because now it's time for you to discover how to check your own coins. Let's break it down. Check if the numbers appear more compact. The telltale sign is the small date variety. The top of the 7 should be nearly level with the 0. Make sure there's a D under the date, indicating the Denver Mint. Does the reverse have sharper details? Fine lines on the Lincoln Memorial may suggest a proof die was used. If it's bright red, uncirculated, or looks untouched, don't clean it. Just place it carefully in a protective holder. A professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC can confirm its authenticity and value. If your coin meets these criteria, you might be sitting on a fortune, literally. Now, here's the cliffhanger. You might be thinking, this can't be real. Could I really have one? And here's the truth. You won't know until you look. There are still unknown specimens out there in old jars, in estate sales, in forgotten dresser drawers across America, and every day that passes, someone else could find theirs before you find yours. Don't wait for someday. Start today. Check your change. Dig through those coin rolls. Go up to the attic. And most importantly, don't underestimate the penny. Because one penny, struck by mistake in 1970, might just flip your entire future. If you found this video helpful, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who collects coins, or even someone who just has a lot of old change laying around. Subscribe for more insider tips on rare coins, valuable collectibles, and how to turn old money into new wealth. Your next million could be hiding in plain sight. Thanks for watching. And remember, in the world of coins, even the smallest cent can carry the biggest fortune.